Wait a second, Federico, you're doing it.
Wait, what?
Per the new...
Oh, the new thing.
I even put it in the document for you.
Well,
You can't be trusted with this new responsibility.
wait, do I have to do Welcome to Connected?
the whole
Yep.
thing.
The whole thing. You can eventually put your own spin on it. You know, it could be like Teachy style, however you want to do it. But
Yeah, Mike says from Relay FM, and I say hello and welcome.
yeah, so you can... What if you just do the whole thing in Italian?
Coming to you from Rome, Italy, I'm Federico. This is Connected, episode 387. Today is March 2, 2022. And in this very special episode, I am joined, of course, from America by Stephen Hackett. Hey, Stephen.
Hello, Federico. You forgot to mention our sponsor is Electric Capital One and Memberful.
Well, I don't take, I don't participate in that part of the business. It's not my responsibility.
Mike and I are fine to split your share between the two of us, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, you notice how he very quickly changed from take to participate?
Yeah.
Did you notice
I
that?
heard it.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, you give me instructions, okay? And the instructions say episode number, date, Federico introduces Stephen. I assume that my responsibility ends there.
That is a good point with the way it's structured in the document. Anyway, I've not been introduced yet, so could you introduce me, please?
Oh, yes. And we're also joined from London, England by Mike Hurley.
Hi, I really liked that Federico introduced himself from Rome, Italy, and then just Stephen as from America. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody cares about Tennessee, honestly. I mean...
Well, it's a big week.
Oh, boy.
An hour and 12 minutes ago, Apple announced an event on March 8th. Usually, or I guess what we were assuming this time is that it would be announced on the Tuesday, be a full week ahead, but they went 6 days ahead this time. And so we ended up scrambling, ditching a bunch of topics, and making some picks. So today we will be making our picks for the Peak Performance March 8th Apple event. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Before we get there, though, we do want to take a minute. Obviously, there's a lot of serious stuff going on in the world right now. And we want to pass our thoughts and love to all of our Ukrainian listeners, readers, members. We know there are a lot of y'all out there. We, like the whole world, are behind you and support you and your country against this really senseless violence being taken part by Russia. Federico, you had some nice tweets yesterday, and you put together some resources where people, if they want to donate or get involved. So we're going to have that stuff in the show notes. And please find a way to serve your fellow humans during this time, because we all need it right now.
Well said. It's really about fellow humans is really a great way to put it. And, in our community, for when we used to do a WWDC Connected Live, but just in general, in our tiny corner of the internet, we know we have met in real life so many developers, writers, other podcasters from Ukraine, and we've met them in real life. We know that there's a thriving community of indie developers in Ukraine, and many of whom we know personally, that we have worked with over the years personally. And so this is especially close to me, because I know these people. I have met these people. It's easy to be sort of like, when you see these tragedies happen elsewhere, I don't know, it's easy to lose the context, and it always feels like it's happening somewhere else. And that's a limitation, it comes with our privilege. It comes with many other issues that force us to think that way. But then when it happens to someone I don't know, I've been really thinking about, the Ukrainian people this week. And I've been thinking about the people I know. And it makes me sick to see what's happening there. So if you can spare, $1, $5, whatever it is you can donate to relief funds, there are many from the United Nations, from UNICEF, from, your local government is quite possibly organizing a relief fund. There's the Italian Red Cross, for example, that I included in my tweets there as one. So do whatever you can, even if you don't want to get into the specifics of the conflict and the invasion. There's people suffering there. So, and that's what should matter ultimately.
I think what we should do, I mean, I don't know if I can make the decision because, I mean, I'm not going to lose the Flexies this time. But I think whoever's a loser of the Flexies next week, 100% will be donating funds to one of these organizations doing work.
That's a great idea.
Great
That's a really
idea.
good idea. Somebody please write that down.
Yeah, it'll probably be Federico because he gives a lot of money away during the Flexies.
Well, if I can write them down, you could please go on.
You got a lot of empty bullet points down there.
Oh God, what am I gonna do here?
Yes, because Federico's yet to finish these Flexies. We're going to get to this in a bit, but we're flying by the seat of our pants today.
We'll get to that in a few minutes. There's a whole explanation that I need to provide, including a slight misunderstanding that I had about the invitation from Apple. So we'll get to that.
You already booked your flight to California, and then you realized, oh, it's virtual. Oh no,
no, it's not that. It's not that.
Oh no. So excited.
Mike, do you want to walk us through a little bit about Apple's response to some of this stuff?
Yeah, so I want to read a statement that Apple provided. Just give me a minute here. We are deeply concerned about the Russian invasion of Ukraine and stand of all of the people who are suffering as a result of the violence. We are supporting humanitarian efforts, providing aid for the unfolding refugee crisis, and doing all we can to support our teams in the region. We have taken a number of actions in response to the invasion. We have paused all product sales in Russia. Last week, we stopped all exports into our sales channel in the country. Apple Pay and other services have been limited. RT News and Sputnik News are no longer available for download from the App Store outside Russia, and we have disabled both traffic and live incidents in Apple Maps in Ukraine as a safety and precautionary measure for Ukrainian citizens. We will continue to evaluate the situation and are in communication with relevant governments on the actions we are taking. We join all those around the world who are calling for peace. Can either of you explain to me the maps part? Like, I don't understand that part.
Yeah, I saw something. I forget, it was somewhere online. A reporter was talking about this in terms of Google Maps, but using like real-time traffic information. It could give the invading force information about what roads may or may not be blocked by citizens or by the Ukrainian army.
Yeah, that was my interpretation as well. Like, you can use that data to sort of guess where the action is happening, basically.
That's interesting. So, obviously Apple have also, Tim Cook wrote a letter to employees. Apple are matching employee donations at a 2-to-1 level. So
good.
I think that means you put in $10, they'll put in another $20. I expect that's what that means. And they're offering additional support for their Ukrainian employees in and out of the country. The App Store and Apple services are still running in Russia. There's been, this is something that Apple did. This is something that Ukrainian government officials were calling on Apple to do. It's kind of a little bit, who knows why they've done all the things that they've done. Like, I was listening to Ben Thompson's Stratechery Daily Update today. I didn't remember this. This is not the first time that Apple has done this, and it's usually because of currency fluctuations. So it is possible that I'm pretty sure one of the reasons that they've stopped selling hardware in the region is also because, like, the currency's so mad there right now because of the sanctions being put on them that it's just too difficult to sell stuff in the country because they can't settle on a price. But at the same time, all of the other things that they're doing seem to indicate like a principled stance. So I'm sure that it's included in that as well. That was context that I didn't have that I just thought was useful. Like, this is not the first time Apple has restricted sales in a country. They did it just recently in Turkey too, because of inflation there. So, this is something that a tool in their belt that they have used before, but I think it is pretty clear that they are speaking out maybe as much as they would on something like this.
So yeah, obviously there's a lot of tech news wrapped up in this. We're not even going to touch like the social media ramifications and decisions that have to come out of it. We just want to make sure the people we know there and everyone else are as safe as possible. This episode of Connected is brought to you by Electric. When leading your small business, it's not glamorous all the time. In fact, sometimes it's a matter of spending hours trying to find a laptop lost in the mail for a new hire, or dealing with some other technical emergency. The team over at Electric knows small businesses, maybe like yours, that face these challenges. That's why they've solved this problem for you by operating as your IT department. So instead of spending your time sorting through unused application licenses, setting up employee laptops, and answering never-ending IT questions from your team, you can focus on building your empire. With Electric acting as your IT department, you can get back to what you're good at. Plus, you get a really cool IT platform to see and manage everything. A lot of small businesses kind of fall in this zone where they're not a big, giant operation with a team of IT professionals, but it's not just a couple of people either who can manage it themselves. A lot of companies need services like this, and Electric is a great fit. For connected listeners, Electric is offering a free pair of Beats Solo 3 headphones for taking a qualified meeting. Just go to electric.ai/connected to set it up. That's electric.ai/connected. Get your free pair of Beats Solo 3 headphones for scheduling a meeting. Our thanks to Electric for their support of the show and Relay FM.
It's time to read the rules.
Please stand for the Bill of Rickies.
I'm standing and also typing as I add things to the show notes. So I am hunched.
I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna stand and type.
I'm hunched right now.
I'm still adding my flexes. But I'm
I am hunching for the rules.
It's time to hunch.
The Bill of Rickies, last amended on January 5th, 2022. Past results can be seen at rickies.co and rickies.net.
God, my back hurts to do this, though. It's not comfortable.
Getting old. There are two types of Rickies, Annual Rickies and Keynote Rickies. The winner of the Annual Rickies is named Annual Chairman and retains the rights to the corresponding Twitter account for the full year. This position is awarded every January. The Keynote Rickies winner is named the Keynote Chairman and retains the rights to the corresponding Twitter account until the next keynote is held. That's the one we're playing for today. Order for the Annual Rickies is based on the winner of the previous year. Order for the Keynote Rickies is based on the previous Apple event, and the loser goes last. To earn any points, everything written down in the prediction document must come true. No half points may be awarded in any round. Picks cannot be reused by any contestant within 365 days of first being made. 1 point is awarded for any pick deemed correct in the first two rounds. 2 points will be awarded for correct picks in the risky pick round. If your risky pick is wrong, however, you lose a point, and the other two hosts must agree that your pick is risky. For Keynote Rickies, the scoring window starts when the event begins and closes when the picks are scored. Information must be publicly verifiable to be used in scoring. After the scoring is complete, each host must update their official Tricky to reflect the new winner. The large location marker is for the annual chairman, while the smaller location marker is for the keynote chairman. Trophies should be updated at the end of scoring as part of the closing ceremonies, with photographic evidence provided on demand. Listeners with Mag Tricky should hold their own private closing ceremonies with their magnetic trophy.
In secret.
In secret. Just
Don't let anyone see.
Yeah. Celebrate the way you want to celebrate, is what we're saying. A tie in either the regular picks or the flexies is to be broken by coin toss. As Jason Snell has a lifetime ban of flipping the coin, Dice by Peacock in Relay FM mode is the official way to break a tie.
But it's on thin ice.
It is on thin ice. Thin Ice by Dice by Peacock. As a reminder, I am the current annual chairman. Federico is the current keynote chairman. That Twitter handle is on the line. You may be seated.
Oh, thank you. There will be links in the show notes to the rickies.co interactive scorecard. And I also also rickies.net, which is the Wikipedia. I wanted to just point out a couple of things that they've updated. Over 800 Overcast timestamped links have been added to rickies.net for every single pick, flip, and rule change. Every item, you can click it and it will take you there so you can hear it. Thank you to Jason for that work. Also, it includes a guide to help people put their trickies in order correctly, because we have all struggled, so we can all use that guide. You can go find out more on rickies.net about all the changes.
All right. So, Federico, you're the winner. So you get
yes,
to
but
go.
there's also something I need to explain up front
Okay.
that may or may not.
You have an opening statement.
I have an opening statement because you need to understand how I discovered that there was going to be an Apple event. So up until an hour and a half, 90 minutes ago, I was at this scheduled doctor's appointment, and so
You had the week off.
I had the week off. I told you guys I was not going to be on the show. But then when we sort of started speculating, hey, do you think they're actually going to announce the event 6 days before instead of 7 days before? In the off chance that we were going to get invitations, for the event at 6 p.m., I made plans with John and Alex at Mac Stories, and I told them, look, I'm going to be at the doctor's office, but if it goes out, please keep an eye, out for invites, and in that case, please publish the story. So imagine this situation. Picture this scene. I was lying face down on this bed, at the doctor's office.
Okay.
And you know how they have that cutout for your face, right?
Sure.
What kind of doctor is this?
It's
a massage doctor.
well, it's a dermatologist appointment, so it's needed to do something to my hair. So I was lying face down, and there's this little cutout, so you can rest your face. And I'm wearing a mask, and I'm inside the cutout, and below the cutout there's like this thin layer of transparent like plastic, right? So I figure, okay, it's almost 6 p.m. I guess I can, because there's this cutout and I can see the floor, even though there's this layer of plastic between my eyes and the floor, I can still see it, So if I could grab my phone and look at the phone from inside the cutout. Now, I'm not wearing my eyeglasses. There's this plastic in between my face and the phone, but it's transparent, and it should be good enough to check my email and to tell the guys that I just got an invite for the Apple event, right? Meanwhile, the guy is doing the thing to my hair. So I'm just lying face down, and I told him, can I check my phone real quick? And he's like, yeah, sure. Go ahead. No worries. So I start, I'm lying face down. This person is touching my head, and I'm looking at my phone, and it's slightly blurry, right? Because of the plastic and because I'm not wearing glasses. So it's 6 p.m. rolls by. At 6:01, as usual, right on schedule, I get an iMessage from Steven, and I get the email with the invitation. I take a screenshot real quick, and I go to the Mac Stories chat, and I tell Alex, here's a screenshot. Please, publish the story. At the same time, I also open Tweetbot and I send my tweet. Now, take a look at my tweet and you will see how I had a typo. Because I just discovered a few minutes ago, when I sat down to record this podcast, that the event name was Peak Performance with 2 E's.
Like to look at the performance.
Not Peak Performance, as I tweeted. Because
I didn't notice this.
I tweeted, even with an exclamation point, peak performance. But I was very excited. But that happened because, normally I would pay attention to event taglines, but in my conditions at the time, I was lying face down without glasses, with the inside, with my face inside the cutout and the phone just hovering, essentially above the floor as I was, holding it with my right hand. I couldn't see clearly. So I feel like this is a very John Voorhees thing I've done. John typically does these things, blurry vision.
Very one true John kind of moment.
I apologize for the typo. Unfortunately, that tweet is now too sort of engaged to remove it.
Right.
There's no edit button, obviously. So that typo is going to haunt me forever. But at least I got a story to tell.
I mean, I guess we're the first podcast, right? No one else has recorded so soon. So we can make all this is what peak performance looks like jokes. We can do all of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No one's beat us to that. So that's what peak performance looked like for you, Federico.
Mm-hmm.
Face down, looking through a piece of plastic.
Federico, you're not the only one. Rickies.co also had it spelled peak the other way. I have submitted a correction.
I mean, it's very easy to get wrong. I go first, right? Because I'm
You go first.
okay. So
the peak chairman.
So this may not be the most original regular pick that I've ever done, but my first pick is a new iPad Air is introduced with a better system on a chip and 5G support. Basically, a new iPad Air with a new chip and 5G. That is essentially what the rumors have been predicting for the past several months. The last iPad Air goes back to, what was it, October 2020, November 2020, something like that. We went the entirety of 2021 without an iPad Air update. So it's due for a refresh. And my pick is new iPad Air with a new chip and 5G. Now, if you were to speculate further outside of the context of the pick, I could also see new colors. And I could also see center stage, obviously. I think the design is going to stay the same, and I think it's going to keep the Touch ID button. But for sure, new chip and 5G.
Question for the gang.
Mm-hmm.
A chip or M chip?
A chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Like,
so.
The current one? A15?
Oh, what's it? The A15, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
A15, yeah, and 5G.
I think it brings it up to match the iPhone 13 and the iPad mini.
And the iPad mini, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The
I
iPad
think
mini
that-
has an A15? I forgot that.
Doesn't it?
That little guy. I don't remember. I'm sure it does. That little guy, he's so powerful. He can't be stopped.
Little guy as an A15
I love my
Bionic.
iPad mini. I love
It's
my
good,
iPad
it's good.
mini.
It's a good device. Very good device.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
the
have a
best thing.
name for the iPad mini? Do you have a nickname for
Do you know what? I don't, and I feel like I should, huh?
What about Patrick?
Patrick? Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that an awful lot, actually. I don't know
I would
why.
suggest either Patrick or Vincent.
That's good too.
I'm gonna go with Patrick.
Yeah,
I'm
me
gonna
too.
go with
Okay.
Patrick because mine is like kind of purpley, right? Like a little, so it's like close-ish to Patrick Star from SpongeBob,
Right.
who's mostly pink, but whatever. Apple doesn't understand colors, so.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, what is
Do
Starlight?
they sell a pink smart cover? Because if they do, Patrick's gonna get an upgrade.
Nice. Okay.
There
I
we
love
go,
how we're
and
just
he-
going with this. You already called it Patrick. Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank
perfect Patrick. Oh, I love him now. He's the best.
you. Okay. So that's my first pick. New iPad Air, new chip, and 5G because we know they love 5G. They want to bring 5G everywhere. 5G, 5G.
5G.
They don't make a pink iPad mini smart cover. Fingers crossed, Who knows?
You know?
They might.
New colors.
They might.
Pink Patrick.
Pink for Pat.
Gonna.
Okay, my round one pick. Apple introduces a new Mac Mini with an updated design.
Ooh, okay. We need to unpack this pick. A new Mac Mini, an updated design. Please contextualize a little here.
The Mac Mini will be new and it will look different to the one it replaces.
Right.
What more unpacking do you need?
I mean,
Well, it's the updated design that I.
this is a round one pick, man. If they put the button on the other side, it's an updated design.
Okay, cool. Just need you to say that.
Yeah. Come on, I'm not going for risky here.
I need you to say that out loud so that it can be on the record.
I actually don't think a new button or new port counts as an updated design.
Yeah, of course it does, because somebody had to sit
No,
down
it
and draw
does.
out a new CAD file. That's a new design. Somebody had to design that, even if it's boring.
I mean, it's
You
not
know.
wrong, Steven. And it's a round one pick.
It's a round
So-
one pick. I could have just said Apple introduces a new Mac Mini, and that's it. I'm done, right? But I'm bringing a little flavor, a little spice.
Little
Spice.
Spicy Mikey.
Spicy Mikey.
So I need to tell you both, I'm a little jittery now, right? I was super tired today. I was incredibly tired. I don't know why. I just felt really tired.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
halfway
here we
through
go.
a Red Bull right now. That's
Oh,
why
okay.
I'm in this mood, right?
Okay. Have you ever had Red Bull before?
Oh, yeah, but
Oh, okay,
it's,
as long as you don't
it
die
is
on
a
us.
tactically deployed tool.
Right. Okay, as long as you've had it before, it's not like you're gonna die on the show or something. We're good. Yeah.
It's a very different, it's a very different buzz I get from Red Bull. I get jittery.
Right.
Like coffee, it's like more sustained and good feeling. But Red Bull is like I'm on edge,
Are you wearing your Apple Watch?
Yeah.
Do you have the high heart rate notifications on?
Yeah, and I haven't gotten one yet.
Okay, cool.
I'm cool. I'm like 89 beats per minute 12 minutes
Nice.
ago.
Nice,
I'll
nice.
keep my eye on that. Oh, 82. I'm chilled out now. I'm going down.
All right. Cool. Time for another Red Bull, maybe. Then.
Well, my resting heart rate is apparently 60 beats per minute. I don't know if this is good or bad. So I'm like significantly higher than that right now.
Cool. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, new Mac Mini of any kind. It's
Oh man, mine's 69 beats per minute.
Nice.
Mine is 420. Wait, what?
Federico's heart is blazing it. Constant. Hey, if you're a doctor, listen, I just need to say, if you're a doctor, don't tell me if that's good or bad. I don't want to know, all right?
Yeah.
Like, don't write into me and be like, oh, Mike, I'm worried about you.
We do not provide nor accept medical advice on this show.
Yeah.
So,
No, thank you.
I still don't think like port
Whoa,
changes.
I just went up to 91. Oh, I need to stop looking at that.
Because
excited.
you're thinking about how your port change is not a redesign. How you're gonna get called out for that next week? Maybe we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That's next week's problem. Not
No.
this week's problem.
We've already made this decision.
No, you think we did.
Yeah, me and Federico agree. That's all that it takes.
A port change is an updated design.
Yes, because somebody had to sit down, open AutoCAD, and make
it's a
that a
round
thing.
one pick, and by keeping it so generic with updated design, it could mean anything.
Yeah.
Therefore, well, I guess the only thing that, like, if we were super nitpicky, you're saying the Mac Mini as an updated design. So if they change the design of the power cord, that doesn't count.
Doesn't count. Jason
Okay.
Snell's blowing up Slack right now, telling me I'm wrong. I don't care what anyone says. Mike and Federico agree. If somebody had to open a design tool to make it work, that's a new design. You know what? If you're all going to get so uppity about it, I'll just say Apple introduced the new Mac Mini, you know?
No, I'm fine.
For everyone's
with it.
gonna cry about it.
No, I'm not crying.
No, not
Steven's
you.
Crying.
So it's Jason and Steven. They're crying about it. You know?
Updated the new Mac Mini.
My eyes don't approve of your design. I know about 20 Macs. You don't know about no Macs. That's you and Jason right now.
Oh, okay. My round one pick is a larger, more powerful iMac is introduced.
Define larger.
Bigger than the 24-inch.
But like the display is larger?
The physical size. Which do you mean?
Like what is larger?
What is large? What if it gets thinner? What if the volume of the iMac is smaller than the one it replaces? Then what?
It is larger than the 24-inch M1.
Yeah. Look, I don't care about any of the things I've just asked you. I'm just trying to show you, you know, how you can be a party pooper on people, you know?
So I think this could go M1 Pro, M1 Max route. That's not in the pick, but I think put a
Do
big...
you really think they're going to do this, though?
I
I
didn't
know you've picked it.
until I saw their stupid event name, and it got to me. Because, like, who cares about a new iPad Air and a new iPhone SE in terms of performance? Like, we already know what those things are. Show me something new.
Yeah, I was like, this is going to be a boring event, you know?
And look, and I'm one, usually, like, it's happening in Discord, and I'm just, like, sitting on my hands. I usually find reading, like, people read too far into these, right? Like, analyzing the colors and, like, oh, it doesn't match the colors of the computers they release. Like, but I do think in the Apple Silicon era, their event names have all been about, like, silicon performance.
I agree with you.
And so I kind of think maybe this could be the time.
This event invitation has completely thrown me off. I thought this was going to be a pretty boring event, but performance, like that's a weird word to use if all you've got is an iPhone SE and a new iPad Air. You know what I mean? Like they're the things that people think, and then outside of that, it's a little bit up in the air. But this suggests to me something powerful.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, what's the point? You could call it like anything.
I mean, I think as like a sidebar, the alternative could be like we see something with an M2, and so that's what this is about. And I think that's possible, and we may or may not have some picks about that, depending on what Federico finishes writing in the document.
But that would count, and that would be intriguing. Like the M2 would be intriguing.
Yeah, and it would satisfy the title of the event, I think. But if the bigger iMac is going to get the M1 Pro and the M1 Max, I would imagine they would like to get that done.
Yeah.
And not wait until WWDC or even later. Now, if they're going to go the route, say the Mac Pro might, where it's like 2 of those chips or 4 of those chips, maybe it's not time. But if it's just straight, hey, the M1 Pro or M1 Max are an iMac now, which would be a killer machine, then I think now could be the time. So that's what I'm going with for round 1.
Would love this to happen. Say that.
I think it'd be really cool. I've been kind of really thinking about what to do about this. I've been looking at Mac Pro values, and boy, it's not good.
Hey, look, you know what you're going to do. Me and Federico have already laid it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
You'll buy an iMac Pro.
Mm-hmm.
You'll sell your Mac Pro, and you'll say, then like 2 weeks later, you'll say, oh man, I'm so happy to be back on the iMac Pro. This is the perfect computer for me. I can't imagine doing anything different. And then June rolls around and they show off the Mac Pro and say it goes on sale in July, and then you buy that.
We'll see.
It's totally fine, you know?
We'll see.
We've laid it out for you. It's okay. You're supported here.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. This is a safe space
Yeah.
for you.
Is it? Does it feel like it sometimes?
No, it is. This is encouraging. We're encouraging you. I want you to live your true self.
Now imagine if it wasn't.
All right.
Take the computer, man. Buy it, and then we'll figure out what to do here.
All right, round 2.
All right, round 2. I'm going for a pick that I think it's almost obvious that because it always happens, and I'm pretty sure there was a leak a few days ago. New iPhone case colors and or watch band colors are introduced at or after the event.
Yeah.
The spring collection, right? They always do it for either iPhone cases or watch bands or both, and they usually do it in the spring. There's new springy colors that they spring on us. See, that's a good one. And I think the leak showed off a very cool looking bright yellow case for the iPhone, which if they do that silicone yellow case, I am gonna get the one because it's a good looking yellow.
Yeah.
So yeah, but also new watch bands. I could use a refresh of the watch bands that I use. So I hope it comes true. Now, typically they do not show these off at the event, but they usually show up on the online store after.
I have one concern for you.
Okay.
So we are recording 1 day after the event. What if this stuff goes like when the products go on sale on like Friday? You're in trouble, boy.
They are up on the store always after
That
the event.
sounds like a very confident man.
Well, do you know me?
Man exudes confidence
Uh-huh.
and pasta.
What did he say? What did he say? Can you roll back the tape? What did he say?
That's fine.
You're gonna force me to listen back.
Imagine such a terrible catastrophe.
Into this
They're
stream.
ruining it in the Discord, so it's there for you to see.
Thank
They
you,
picked it up.
Kate, and thank you, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
So usually you just go to the listing for the cases, and there's the new badge on some new colors.
Yep.
Right after the event.
Yeah, all these colors now are kind of sad colors. There's nothing like bright and fun right now, and it's springtime, right? Let's make something happen.
There's a pink iPhone case in here, which would be great for Patrick if they put it in the
Right.
in the
Could look
iPad
great on
Mini,
Patrick.
right?
Yeah.
Hashtag pink for Patrick. That's what we're
Pink for Patrick.
That's what we're going for here, gang. Well,
It
pink
sounds
for Patrick.
It sounds like a weird campaign to raise awareness about something no one knows about.
No, I was about to say that it sounds like a GoFundMe campaign or something.
Yeah. Pink for
I mean,
Patrick.
it will be if they don't do it. You know, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe.
like a petition to sign change.org to do a pink.
And if it's like enough signatures, it goes to the president, and then the president has to read it.
The president of Apple.
Of America.
Of America. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get Joe involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
My second round pick. Apple's classical music service is unveiled.
This is a very good pick.
Oh boy.
I wanted to use this one. I love it.
I didn't even consider this. Jason mentioned this during the upgrade draft. And then I remembered how it popped up. There were like code was popping up in the Android app, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's got to happen at some point. I feel like this could be an event where you could squeeze this in somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's my question. And I mean, the pick is fine. Anything that they show off about Apple's new classical music service will give you the point. But just as a conversation around the pick, don't you guys think it's weird that they're going to show off a new service for classical music without an actual speaker to go with it? I still think it's weird that they're selling the HomePod Mini, that it's the mini version of nothing, because the HomePod regular does not exist anymore. And I'm just saying, I guess, it sure would be nice to show off this new sort of spin-off of Apple Music with a proper speaker to listen to that kind of content.
That would be nice. I mean, but couldn't they just say like, oh, like all of our stuff already supports lossless, and it's like the best way to listen to classical music or something?
Here's another question. Will this service be an extra add-on for your Apple Music subscription?
I don't know, but I think it will be telling because, you know, like one of the things that's been popping up a lot recently is like Apple bidding for American sports packages. I am wondering, like, will they include these in Apple TV Plus to make it more attractive and just take the loss, or will they have it as an add-on for Apple TV Plus?
Yep.
And so I feel like the classical music thing will be an indicator for that. I don't know which way to slice it, honestly.
Once you have all the services established, right, it only seems logical to start doing add-ons. I mean, it's what, you know, cable companies and internet providers have been doing for ages. Basically, like, hey, do you want to also get this in addition to the base service that we give you? Why don't you pay, you know, $5 extra and you get access to this as well?
It depends on whether you are going for cash or it's strategy, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But yes, I agree.
And I can't slice that. This is the problem with Apple. Like, they have so much money, it's impossible to work out.
The potentially awkward thing is that, what, you're going to ask me for $5 extra to get access to Apple Classical, which is a tailored experience for classical music and, you know, all the things they're going to market it as. But what if I'm a regular Apple Music listener? I will not be able to search the regular Apple Music for a specific piece. Like, how will this work in terms of, will that content become exclusive to the Apple Classical experience? Will I be able to search in the sort of default music app?
I can't imagine they would take music away from Apple Music.
But in that case, can they charge for it in this separate experience?
I think that's the tricky part.
So that's why
they already have multiple tiers of Apple Music, right? So maybe you wouldn't get this in the talk plan or whatever, you know? But the expensive plan, they're just trying to bolt more on. Like, similarly, you know, it was pretty clear, I think, that Spotify wanted to charge more for lossless, but Apple just included it.
Yeah, I think Apple's just going to include it.
I think you might be right. I think you'll be right.
That's my guess. I think it gets real messy real quickly for exactly what you said, Federico. This stuff's already around in Apple Music. And in contrast with the TV stuff, say that Apple does win the rights to NFL Sunday Ticket, then like that was already a paid thing elsewhere. And so that's the assumption that people have about it. Yeah, this content is paid no matter where it comes from. But this feels very different to that. And my expectation would be that it is built in. And probably, you're right, Mike, probably not on the talk plan. But, I mean, who's using that anyways? Like, I can't imagine that's extremely popular yet, if ever.
I can't imagine it either. But, like, I wonder if something like that exists so they can then go on the top. I don't know. It's hard to work out. But I think I'm inclined to agree with you, Stephen, that they'll include this with the thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's very interesting because this is new ground for them in the services area.
Well, they also have university student $4.99. This is pounds. Family $14.99. Individual $9.99, and then they have the talk plan as well, which is even cheaper. Or it's like $5.
But I think all those come with the same features.
Yeah,
it's
they
just
do. Except talk.
Except talk.
Voice. Sorry, we keep calling it talk. It's called voice.
A new iPhone SE with 5G support is announced.
Okay.
Seems like a lock. Seems like something they want to do. The current SE is pretty old and on, boring old LTE.
Ugh, LTE, am I right? Ugh.
Ugh. Oh, I need a 5th G.
Do either of you, Federico, you're on 5G, right?
I am on 5G all the time, man.
Steven,
I love 5G.
do you have 5G?
Almost all the time.
But like you have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Yeah, because you don't pay for it, right?
Why do we do a show together?
I have a good plan, and if I change to 5G, I have to pay more money.
Gross.
So I'm on 4G.
I mean, duh, it's 5G. It's only 5 times better than
Yeah.
G. So,
Plus, it lets the government hear your thoughts. I mean, why would you not want to do that?
I don't want to lock into a contract. This is my thing.
Yeah.
you should have gotten the discount when you had your vaccination shot for 5G. There was a discount.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Missed that.
Sorry, bud.
Anyways, new iPhone SE. The pic does not address anything about the design. Maybe we'll get to that later.
No, we're purposely not talking about that right now.
So that's the first 2 rounds. So I think there's some good picks in here. I'm feeling pretty good. How are y'all feeling?
It's
Terrible.
not terrible. No, not too terrible.
I feel terrible.
I feel mediocre. That's how I feel.
I like a good 2 days notice. This is what I like. Not an hour, 2 days. That's what I want.
2 days. 2 days. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair to ourselves,
I know.
We've been thinking about it for a while. It's not like this hasn't been rumored. So I don't want to sell us short.
This is my own fault. I should have started planning the Rickies weeks ago. I knew this was coming. And it's very strange. I don't know why. I feel like there's like a thing where I want to be like at it in the last minute. And, I know I did the draft, Kate, but the Rickies and the draft, they're completely different in my mind. I can't really bring these things together.
Yeah. One is fun and fluid, and the other is stuck with rigid rules that can't ever change to address the evolving truths of society as we know it today.
Is that like what you're talking about, the updated design thing, or what?
This episode of Connected is brought to you by Capital One. Have you ever hit a technical snafu while shopping online? Has filling out payment fields given you a headache, or has your mobile banking app been down when you really needed to use it? Capital One believes that everyone deserves better banking. This means easier access to your money and more security. That's why Capital One is investing in machine learning. Machine learning allows Capital One to do things like fight fraud with random forests, with models that quickly detect suspicious activity and make it faster to alert federal investigators. And they identify how mobile app outages happen with casual models. This means that keeping their mobile app up and running is much easier. Like, this stuff doesn't happen by accident. You don't stumble into good technology. This machine learning stuff that Capital One is doing is making it possible and easier for everyone. Anomaly detection and incident response help determine why app outages happen so engineers can quickly remedy them. Capital One speeds up online shopping with machine learning at the edge. They make shopping with virtual card numbers smoother and more secure. This technology is based on logistic regression models and running inference in the browser. It identifies things like payment fields, which helps make using virtual card numbers easier and faster. The potential of machine learning is so big. See how Capital One is using machine learning to create the future of banking? Simply search machine learning at Capital One. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
All right.
Rickies time.
Oh, there's a song now. Can you sing that song a little bit louder?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's not.
It's not hype.
Then it's not hyped. Then it's not.
Right, okay.
Then it doesn't do things to you.
Oh, this is an ASMR song.
Rickies. Federico,
Yeah.
drop this gem of a Ricky pick on us.
So one thing you should know about me is that in real life, I know the cubicle shape. I like cubes. Okay?
Wait, what?
I
That's
like
cubes.
cubes. I
Big-
love cubes.
Yeah,
Cube. I feel like the cube is the perfect shape.
cubes are the new pyramids, man.
I'm telling you, like if we ever go back to like ancient civilization, and it seems very likely given where the world is at the moment, and if we were to build like new pyramids, I would advise, leaders to build cubes instead. I think they're so much better than pyramids.
It'd be really hard to build the roof.
You got to raise it. You got to raise the roof.
I mean, if you're building it like with the blocks, like they did the pyramids, because you've gone back in time.
No, basically, first you build like a pyramid, and then from the top you start going down, and you close out the pyramid, and it becomes a cube.
So there's a pyramid inside the cube.
No, because then you remove the pieces from the top of the pyramid, and
But
as
then
you
wouldn't the
go,
roof fall down?
No.
Okay.
Thanks to anyway, cubes are cool, and this preference of mine has informed my risky pick.
Okay.
I'm gonna read you the text of the pick.
That is what you need to do.
A new base model Mac Mini is introduced with the M2 chip. The new Mini is at least 30% smaller than the current one. It's thicker than the existing Mac Mini, but narrower, making it more similar to an Apple TV or Intel NUC. Now, I'm not saying that Apple will do a Mac Mini Cube. That preamble, I really wanted to say that I like cubes. I'm not saying that they're going to do like a modern G4 Cube. But what I'm saying is that I think the base model Mac Mini can be a lot smaller than it is. And we knew this before. And I mean, if you need further proof of this, look at what Queen has done with his latest video on YouTube.
We were going to talk about this video today, but then, the event happened. Quinn's video about the Mac Mini that he made is so freaking good.
It's incredible.
And so I really believe that, especially, you have to assume that with the M2, Apple will be able to achieve even greater performance and even better, performance in terms of thermal performance for the Mac Mini. And I really feel like if the Mac Mini line is gonna be split in two, regular Mac Mini and a more pro-oriented Mac Mini, I would assume that they're gonna keep the larger footprint for the more serious Mac Mini. The one that will have the M1 Pro, maybe even the M1 Max, I don't know. But if that's the case, I started thinking about this and I went like, okay, well then how do you differentiate between them? And I've long said on this show that I really love my Intel NUC. I love the form factor. It's so much more compact. And I have long felt that Apple should be making a smaller Mac Mini. I want Apple to make a smaller Mac Mini. Therefore, I am wishing this product into existence by picking it as my risky pick. A smaller Mac Mini with the M2 that is thicker, so taller than the current Mac Mini, but smaller on the sides.
Cool. I wanted you to just like redefine those for me because I wasn't getting it completely.
So taller,
Yep.
But smaller on the sides. It's narrower, and it's more similar to an Intel NUC or an Apple TV, sort of like square shaped, maybe. I don't know.
So like the physical footprint of the thing is smaller.
At least 30% smaller.
Taller off the desk from its top to its bottom.
Yes.
Very cool.
I would love this product, to exist. And I could see maybe by making it thicker, by making it taller, you will still have room for all the ports that you're likely going to want in the back, USB-A, Ethernet, maybe HDMI, obviously, because it's a Mac Mini, maybe a couple USB-C, Thunderbolt 4 ports. And it would be such a lovely product, even if it's not square-shaped like an Apple TV or an Intel NUC, but like a thicker, rectangular shaped Mac Mini, that would look lovely. Sort of like the product that Quinn made. I would love to see essentially an Intel NUC by Apple that is a new Mac Mini.
So I guess like design wise, it might be closer to something like an Apple TV, right? Because that's like super like thick and
right. That's the Apple TV and the Intel NUC are very similar.
Like a funny little box shape.
Yeah, a funny little box shaped thing. Yes.
That'd be interesting.
So not a cube, but approaching cube territory, maybe.
Yeah, Cuba.
Cuber.
Cuba. Not Cuba.
Not Cubert, the Vita game.
Mm-hmm. Cuber. Any comments, Stephen Hackett, before we move on?
Cube-shaped computers are cursed, so hopefully they don't do full cube.
I mean, it's not wrong. Look at the G4 Cube. Look at the Nintendo GameCube. That thing
and the next cube.
That shape that shape does not go well in historically speaking.
Are there any successful cube-shaped technology devices?
Well, maybe not devices. There's Ice Cube was pretty successful.
Okay, that's not technology.
But it's our technology.
Yeah, I mean, the Mac Mini size thing is really interesting to me. They could definitely go smaller. I mean, if you look at Quinn's video, you crack open an M1, they're basically shipping air and a tiny little computer next to it. But did they do that for purely budgetary reasons, or did they know looking forward to the M1 Max or, things coming 5 years from now that, hey, if we shrink this down to the size of the Apple TV, we're going to have trouble, the thermal corner problem comes back. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's all of those things. If they do really shrink it down, clearly they know that they're good for that for years to come. But I don't know. It's very interesting to me what could happen here.
If they did make a Cube computer, do you think they would keep the Mac Mini name, or do you think they'd just go for it, call it the Cube?
I think they'd keep the name Mac Mini. That name has way more cachet.
Man, could you imagine if they made a Mac Mini Cube that is like a small cube, like imagine about the size of a HomePod Mini, like a small cube you can hold in your hands. Sort of like the size of an Apple Design Award. Imagine that, but it's a Mac Mini.
Mm-hmm.
Now that would be incredible. Apple Design Award as a computer is actually... Why hasn't Quinn done that instead? Like...
Yeah, he listens. Quinn,
you have to
Get
steal someone's Apple
someone-
Design Award and
Right.
then put a computer inside of it.
Yes, find someone willing to give you an Apple Design Award, or here's my advice for you, Quinn. Drop the YouTube thing. Start doing app development.
That's not going anywhere.
Drop the video thing, it's fine. Start doing app development. You gotta play the long game here. Win an Apple Design Award for your app. Then you make a big comeback to YouTube with this video. Yeah. See, I'm a good business strategist.
The new iPhone SE has a design. influence- Okay. Stephen, here's the thing, Stephen. All right, I have a bone to pick with I'm assuming Stephen Hackett, because Stephen Hackett does this to me in my life, where he corrects things for me that I don't ask to be corrected, and therefore makes them incorrect.
Wait, what?
So I have written in this document twice now, the new iPhone SE has a design influenced by the iPhone Mini. And Stephen keeps changing it, I assume it's Stephen, to iPad Mini. Stephen, are you the one changing this?
Yes, I forgot until you said this that there is an iPhone Mini. So that's on me.
So Stephen does this. I know sometimes my show descriptions change a little bit, and then I have to change them back. Because Stephen Hackett...
Sometimes you have
changes
typos, and I fix them
things.
silently.
The guy went to journalism school. Yeah.
That's true. I should remember that.
Have you gone there?
I haven't.
Did you go?
I am inferior.
You are an illiterate podcaster. So
Oh my God, that's not actually too far away from the truth, to be honest. I mean, you know me. You exchange texts with me. It's not that far away.
I mean, I've seen you talk casually. So
For a man who loves keyboards, you sure don't know how to use them. Anyway, the new iPhone SE has a design influenced by the iPhone Mini. It does not feature Face ID. It has a Touch ID power button.
Ooh, okay. Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
No, of course I'm not. It's a Ricky.
Cool. Yeah.
Here's the thing I'm thinking about, right? Here's the thing I'm thinking about. Now, the iPhone Mini's going away, right? We all know this. They've said that this has been much rumored, and it's probably the case. But people still like small phones, and Apple designed that phone. They did all the work in designing that phone. And they're going to keep the SE. Eventually, the SE needs to move away from its design, with the home button and the thing.
Yeah, it dates back to like the 6, really. I mean, it's pretty old.
So I was thinking about this. If you were going to redesign the iPhone SE, I still think that they would keep Touch ID on it, like for a while, especially because I think at some point Touch ID comes back to the iPhone in some way, right? Like they put a sensor under the screen, right? So it's not like that technology is going to go away. And Apple are still introducing new products, right? Like our friend Patrick, the iPad Mini with Touch ID built into them. So I think that I could imagine an iPhone that looks like the iPhone Mini and is kind of sized like the iPhone Mini, and has a Touch ID power button. Do I think that's going to happen next week? No, I do not think it's going to happen next week. But, what am I going to do? Picked it now, haven't I?
It would be really interesting from the strategy perspective if a new version of Touch ID shows up here on the phone first, because the SE, like, part of the reason people like it is small and cheap, and for people who don't want Face ID. Mm-hmm. And if Touch ID is going to come back like in a button elsewhere, putting it here first is kind of an interesting move.
I'm not picking that. Like, I think that Touch ID comes back to the iPhone under screen. You know, that's what I think they'll do some kind of under screen.
So this Touch ID power button that you're predicting here is not really the on ramp to something bigger. It's just this phone gets this, and that's not really like a big shift coming.
Yeah, exactly. But this is like they're going to put the one that they've had in their iPads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The last thing that tipped me to thinking this was I saw rumors today that suggested that the old iPhone SE will be kept around at $199.
Yeah, Gurman, I think, wrote that in his newsletter that he was suggesting Apple do that.
And so my thinking was, why? Oh, he was suggesting it?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's imagine that that's the case. That he didn't suggest it, he just said it. This is the problem with reading headlines and not actual articles. Imagine that if they
should have gone to journalism school, am I right?
I know I should have. Then I would have definitely checked all of my sources, done all of my VIAs and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't do that because I don't know the fundamentals of journalism. I'm just out here spreading fake news.
Yeah.
But I imagine if they did do that, right? Like, you could keep the old one around and then introduce a new design, which is like $500 or something, right? So it's still cheaper, but it's not the cheapest. And then over the next couple of years, you bring that price down again until you remove the old iPhone SE. Like, at some point, the iPhone SE's design will change. I don't think it's this time, but I think it will happen.
Yeah, the current iPhone SE here in the States is for 64 gigabytes, $399.
Mm-hmm.
So knocking that down, Gurman said $199, but even getting it to $299, that's pretty sweet. And if they can do that, it, like you said, it does kind of open up space, because the 128 gig model is $449. So, like, you know, that's kind of mid-rangey price. And so I could see this world where there's like the old SE, there's the iPhone SE and the iPhone SE SE. The old version of the old phone.
We know you love this design, so we're going to honor this design by honoring the design it honors.
That's right. Yo, dog, we heard you like this design.
So we put an SE inside of your SE. Oh, that's good, man. Like, like Cubed, like the little 2 or little 3 or whatever, they do that. So it's SE, and then, like, what is that? You would notice you went to journalism school. What is that? Like postscript, superscript or something?
Superscript.
Right.
Superscript.
Did you go to journalism school, Federico?
No, but I know fonts.
Oh, wow. Look at that. You jumped right in there. Big font boy.
I'm big in the typography industry.
Big type energy.
Big, I am part of what?
Are you one of these, like, no, it's not a font, it's a typeface people?
Yeah, in the biz we call it I'm part of Big Font,
Mm-hmm.
it's basically Big Pharma, but made of a bunch of nerds who stare at screens all day and type things.
You can see that the kerning is 1 pixel off.
Yeah, we talk about the kerning, about all the types of script
ligatures.
Yeah, all those.
Line height.
All those. We have heated arguments about monospaced fonts sometimes,
Do a spaced.
Yeah.
Stephen, what is your Ricky pick?
Apple announces an update to the AirPods Max that support wireless, lossless playback to take full advantage of Apple's new classical music service.
Oh, I didn't notice you put that part in at the end.
I love this. I love this pick so much. Yes.
Round of applause for Stephen Hackett there.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not reusing my DAC pick, but I'm not reusing it.
It's the same. It's like the same essence.
Like, have you read? We'll put it in the show notes. Like, go read the support document about lossless playback. It's so sad. I was like, we would deliver lossless playback to your device, but as soon as you use Bluetooth, you don't get any benefits from it. And if you use the cable for the AirPods Max, it's only partially lossless, which I don't know what that means. Like, how was something partially lossless? I don't I don't really understand that, but it seems, look, the AirPods Max have been out a year and little over a year?
Yeah, like year and a half, kind of.
Year and a half?
I think we made this joke before, but is that like loss, less, less? Like it's less, loss,
Wait, what?
less?
Less, loss,
Less,
less.
loss,
Yeah.
less.
Lossless,
Yeah.
less.
Less, loss, less.
Yeah. Less, loss, less on the iPhone SE, SE.
Ship it!
Jacobs by Marc Jacobs, you know? It's that.
Yeah.
I love this because I'm also picturing like, it's the stereotype of, the audiophile, who in this case is an Apple audiophile, which is a very particular category.
That's you, man. This is you are talking about yourself.
No, his stack has no Apple in it. It's all purchased files from the internet on his Sony stuff.
I mean, it's not wrong. No, but there's people like I'm sitting with AirPods Max and I'm listening to high-res lossless from Apple Music. Like I can picture that there's this cat sitting on my lap and I'm listening to
also
Mozart
be a
or
dog.
something. Could be a dog, but usually I think classical music people are cat people. Yeah, they're not
I would just
dog
like
people.
I needed to remind myself of this section and read it for everyone. Keynote Rickies, WWDC 2021, risky pick. Apple unveils a new high-end audio product as defined by a price of or over $399, or it's a standalone DAC. That has gotten worse now that I've come back to read it. Like,
Yeah.
as defined by a price of over $399.
Y'all made me define what high end meant.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't know.
Or
what
it's a standalone DAC.
Obviously, the only obvious one it could be is a standalone DAC, so it could just be that.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they do the classical music service, like, clearly that will be lossless. They've done that everywhere else. I think they're going to make a big deal of not only is this app better organized than anything else on the planet to find and enjoy classical music, but now if you want the full lossless experience on your Apple devices, the new AirPods Max 2 support lossless. And remember, there's been all that chatter, including from people from Apple saying, oh, we want more bandwidth, but Bluetooth doesn't support it. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
We're going to do something here. Like,
Yeah, they are talking a lot about that, aren't they?
yeah. And so, I feel like there's just enough here to make me think this is possible.
Here's the thing, though. I think AirPods Pro before AirPods Max. That's where I think this could bite you.
So maybe I should have said a new AirPods product.
Yeah, that would have been better for you, but
Can I change it?
no.
Okay.
I don't know why. I mean, probably.
I'm going to change it to an AirPods product.
How do you feel about this, Federico? That he's just changing it. I guess it's not in the rules.
I mean, you just have to decide if changing those words makes it risky or not.
Announces an update to an AirPods product. I mean, it makes it like the one before had much more passion in it.
It did. It was a little risky. I would say this is a little less risky. However, by adding in the classical music part, it's like there's because they could do all of that and not do the classical music service.
Yeah. I'm building on your round 2 pick for sure.
This one barely crosses the threshold of risky. It's like this pick is sitting at customs and is being let in by the risky officer. But
This one it had to
mean-
declare itself because it wasn't sure.
okay, sir,
then it's
can you
got-
pop open your trunk? And you open the trunk and there's this pick. And it's like, okay. So yeah, if you want to go for it, you can go for it.
But if they do AirPods Max, then you don't get the glory.
That's true. I want glory.
But you'll still get the pick. So
I want
what's
glory.
more important at the end of it? You're always going back to AirPods Max. Oh, this is one of those classics. This is one of those classics where we've unintentionally screwed it.
Oh,
Maybe.
man. I feel bad for what we do to Steven with these things, Like, I mean, we're like, oh, yeah, you can do it if you want to. And it's like, no, I feel bad. I'm going to go back to my original
Hey, but
pick.
the glory could be his,
I guess it's not easy to be our friends, Mike, maybe?
This is true for all three of us in every configuration,
Yeah, maybe.
right?
Maybe so, yeah.
There is no configuration where that couldn't be said. I would assume.
Yeah.
You did both call me illiterate a minute ago,
I mean, he did. I just sort of leaned into it.
I mean, you didn't know what superscript was, so...
Well, this is how that worked. No, that was before Superscript.
Well, it was in the context of the show, so all is forgiven.
Yeah, this is a 2-hour, like, you
Heat
know,
of
just,
battle.
just lay it all down. Yeah, yeah.
So we're going with AirPods Max.
AirPods Max.
Okay. So can you read it again for the ones at home?
Apple announces an update to AirPods Max that support wireless, lossless playback to take full advantage of Apple's new classical music service.
Very good. Very, very good pick there.
Question for you. How fast can you say wireless lossless playback?
Wireless, lossless playback.
Okay.
Pretty
Good
quick.
job. Yeah.
How slowly can you say it, Federico?
Slowly.
Yeah, how slowly?
Wireless. Lossless.
That was good. Oh, I wasn't expecting playback.
Playback. Wireless. Lossless. Playback.
What's happening? Stephen, are you whispering? I
Steven
can't hear
is
you.
whispering something, but I
I
cannot
can't hear him. Zoom is cutting him off. I don't know what he's doing.
There's some good ASMR.
I didn't hear it. I was just sitting there silently, like patiently waiting.
He wants us to listen back to the show today. I told
Yeah.
you.
You got to listen back to the show.
It's a trap from Steven.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by our good friends at Memberful. Memberful is the easiest way to sell memberships to your audience, used by the biggest creators on the web. Generate sustainable, recurring income while diversifying your revenue stream. We've been using Memberful to power the Relay FM membership program since it launched way back in 2015. Federico, you use it for Mac Stories. All our friends are using it all over the place, 6 Colors, Mac Sparky. And that's because it is an incredible platform to build a membership on. You can have lots of goodies for your members, newsletters, podcast feeds, extra content. They handle all the payment stuff. And it's helped all of us diversify our incomes as businesses. Maybe your financial situation has changed in the past couple of years, and now you're looking for a proven solution that's quick to launch so you can stabilize your business and grow. Well, Memberful handles all the hard stuff so you can focus on what you do best while earning revenue quickly, while leaving you with full control and ownership of everything that relates to your audience, your brand, and your membership. Memberful comes with everything you need to run a membership program. Things like optimized checkout, Apple Pay support, easy member management, dashboard analytics, free trials, gift subscriptions, and more. And Memberful seamlessly integrates with the tools you're already using, including lots of fully managed integrations with popular services like WordPress, MailChimp, Discord, and lots more. And now you can send paid email newsletters directly through Memberful. They have this great feature where those newsletters can become blog posts on a members-only website, so people can check out the back catalog at any time. It's really awesome. We've moved the Relay FM newsletter to this, and I've been very happy with it. So get started for free at memberful.com/connected. There's no credit card required. That's memberful.com/connected. Go there now to check it out and see what it could do for your business. Our thanks to Memberful for their support of the show and Relay FM. All right, it is time to read the rules about the Flexies. Please stand. Or maybe you should lay down while we read the Flexi rules.
I'm gonna lay down on my bed. Can you tell me when we're done?
Just count to 30 and then come back.
My microphone kind of works down here. Like the arm is like working.
It's good.
Down on the ground, baby.
Loser of the Flexies must compensate the winner of the Flexies by donating to the charity of the winner's choice. The amount of the donation is $25 per wrong Flexi made by the loser. Each host must make a minimum of 5 Flexi picks. Flexies may be reused as future Flexies or regular picks. And the winner is determined by the ratio of correct to incorrect Flexies. The winner can use their chosen name during their reign. Federico's is Prince Flexi, Mike is the Duke of Flexington, and mine is Attorney General Flexi. Money, of course, must be donated on air.
You really do lose out in that naming, I think.
It's true.
It's just like... it's like Chief Paralegal Flexi or something. It's not really great. Can we get up now?
Yes. Please rise.
hang on.
Oh, I'm back. Oh, that was comfy.
Wait a second. I'm not
Okay.
back yet. That's a little bit more involved than standing.
Attorney General flex.
AG Flexi.
Oh my God, that's so good. Okay, so Mike,
Yeah.
Duke of Flexington.
As Duke of Flexington. Okay, Tim Cook mentions the war in Ukraine.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I think it would be weird for them not to do it.
I agree.
This is going to have taken some work because I bet it was already filmed and taken care of
Yeah.
like a couple of weeks ago, probably. But I think it would be weird to not do that. No iMac Pro or bigger iMac.
But it says peak performance. It's a sneak peek.
It could be a sneak peek of the Mac Pro, or it could just be your big old chunky Mac Mini,
We'll see.
or could mean nothing.
The thick mini.
I'm taking power from Federico here. I'm like sourcing his energy. John Turnus is wearing a black T-shirt.
I like it. I like black. He's going for black, you think?
Black T-shirt. Yeah. I think you said that before, and it was like a navy blue, but I'm going for black T-shirt.
Going for black. Okay.
Apple unveils the first Mac powered by an M2 chip.
Okay. Which one do you think it's gonna be?
I think it'll be the Mac Mini, or if they do a 13-inch MacBook Pro, which we haven't spoken about yet, I think that's where it will be. But I expect both of those.
Okay.
If they're going to do anything to them, they would get M2 chips.
I've been waiting for this to ask you guys. Do you think that people are going to find it confusing that there's like an M2 chip in consumer stuff and Pro stuff has M1, Pro, and Max, and that seemingly sounds worse because it has a 1 instead of a 2? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't think it's a problem because I don't think people are starting at the chip for the product that they want, and I don't think that that's going to change. I think if you want a MacBook Pro, you just know it's more powerful, and or you have other reasons for buying it. I think in theory, a Pro purchase in the Macs, people know what they're getting before they go to buy it.
Yeah, and I think we just gotta get used to this new TikTok schedule that they have. Like you get the new generation and later you get the previous generation in the Pro and Max configurations. I think this is all new, so it looks somewhat strange now, but I think we're gonna get used to it. And like Mike said, like if you know, you know. Like if you're one of the people that wants to buy one of these machines, you know what you're getting. So I think it's gonna be fine.
Because it's like, it's more confusing in the iPad now. Like some iPads are M chips, some iPads are 8. Like I don't really know if it's going to make much of a difference.
If anything, it makes it better for non-pro users because then you see the bigger number. You're like, oh, M2, I guess that's new. That's the MacBook Air I want to get, the M2, not the old one. So maybe it makes it better for average users, and it doesn't matter for pro people. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I tend to agree, but it's just a new area,
What do you think too? Like it's not going to be an issue that they would just do it?
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal.
No, I don't think so either. I do think this might be one of those things where the level that we think about it is way more than anybody else would, and ultimately they know that, and it's not that much of a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
No Mac gets 5G. Is my final flexi.
Okay.
You're not wrong. I don't think it's gonna happen. Okay, time for my flexes. How many do I have? 6 of them. Went for the extra one.
Oh boy.
No preview of an AR headset. If there's a sneak peek, I don't think it's gonna be the headset at this event. This is a fun one. macOS 12.3, so the next version of macOS, does not come out within 48 hours of the event.
We got a problem here. We're recording
Okay.
24 hours later.
Well, we're gonna get a date though, right?
Yeah, assuming. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Basically, I think if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it, the following week. It's not coming out on the day of or the day after.
Okay.
So I'm giving myself a 2-day span, and I'm saying it's not coming out within 2 days. Universal Control is demoed again. the last time we saw it, it was at WWDC, and I think Apple probably wants to do a reintroduction of universal control and what it can do, especially if they are introducing new iPads and new Macs at this event. Great way to show both of them, to show off both of them together working with this feature. The new Mac Mini comes in multiple colors. I mean, why not, right? Why just the boring silver or gray one? Like, multiple colors Mac Mini.
Okay, so what are you saying? Like, more than just silver and gray? Because Apple will call silver and gray colors, even though they're not colors.
Comes in more colors than silver and gray.
Cool. I mean, your pick could just be what you said, and it's fine. I just kind of wanted to know what you were thinking.
No, it's fine. That's what I meant. The new Mac Mini comes in more colors than silver and gray. I want an orange Mac Mini, like a tiny little thing that I can put on my desk.
Nice.
Something like that. That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Apple releases new AirPods colors. Why are AirPods only white?
Because the white earbud is like...
Who cares anymore? Nobody cares about the reference anymore.
True.
Like, they're so stuck on this image from 20 years ago. Nobody cares about it anymore. Like... people know AirPods, they know the shape, they know they're the ones made by Apple. Saying that, but the white makes them look like AirPods. No, there's so many cheap AirPods clones that I see, unfortunately, my friends buy from Amazon for like 20 euros. Like, that ship has sailed. So just like you do with the iPhone and with the iPad and all other computers, give people the choice of multiple colors for the AirPods that they want to wear. And lastly, Craig is wearing a blue shirt. I think we're going to see Craig demo Universal Control, and we know that Craig loves a good blue shirt. Not navy. I don't think it's going to be navy. Craig likes is light blue. So I'm going to go, but I'm hedging my bets here. I'm going to go for just generic blue shirt. I don't want to be too specific. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 flexes.
I also have 6.
For you too.
A new color of iPhone 13 is announced. Last year they did that purple iPhone 12.
13, do you mean base model or 13 family?
13 family.
Okay.
13. I'll put family in parentheses so we know what we're talking about. The Intel Mac Mini is removed from sale. This is obviously dependent on a more powerful Mac Mini coming, but they have kept that Intel machine for sale above the M1, I think, holding that spot open. So I think it'll be time for that machine to finally go away. We do not see Jaws during this event. So it's all done by other people, not him.
Yeah, it feels like he only does like the pro stuff, kind of like what Schiller was doing for a while, right?
Yeah, if he had taken over from Schiller 4 years ago, we'd see more of him, but they've really gotten better at having more people on stage for like shorter segments, and so I just don't think we'll see him. A revised 13-inch MacBook Pro drops the touch bar, but does not add MagSafe. So this is effectively the return of the MacBook Escape, to use that term from ATP, the 2-port MacBook Pro. We talked about it last week. I just do not see the touch bar surviving any contact with an update to this machine.
We'll see. They've done it once.
We'll see.
Do it again.
iOS 15.4 and or macOS 12.3 get a release date. It's kind of hand in hand with Federico's a little bit. And then my last one, there is no preview of an Apple Silicon Mac Pro. I feel pretty strongly that's a WWDC preview, ship later in the year kind of deal. Mm-hmm. If they do show it, in my mind, what that says is the headset's going to take a lot of time at WWDC, and they want to clear the Macs out early.
Well, I have 2 things on that. One, they might just be ready to release it.
Maybe.
So why wait? Right? They might have it. They might be ready to release it in June, so they might want to show it off now, or May, or whatever. I still don't think we see AR and VR without the headset, and I don't think the headset's going to be June. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just what I think.
Yeah.
Like, WWDC will have other stuff, right? I feel like the AR VR stuff, the headset, they could just give 2 hours to it on its own. Like, I don't. That's just my view on it. I think it would be weird to do it at WWDC, but I know a lot of people disagree.
Yeah. We'll see. But I still think it's a little...
It depends how ready it is, right? Like, if they're ready to ship that thing in September, then they should do it at WWDC, but doesn't seem likely to me.
But it feels a little early for the Mac Pro, but we'll find out next week. That's the beauty of this game. You're only in turmoil for a week.
It's so funny that if they would have announced all of this yesterday, I would feel like all ready for it. But now they've announced it today, I just feel like I'm not ready for it.
Really are. I'm really happy. I'm proud of ourselves today.
Yeah, me too.
We've done a good service for
Mm-hmm.
the world. You know.
The world.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you want to find links to the scorecard over on the rickies.co, that's in the show notes, along with a bunch of other stuff, including ways to support people in Ukraine. Please go check those links out at relay.fm/connected/387. While you're there, you can become a member and enjoy longer ad-free versions of the show each and every week. You can find us all online. You can find Federico on Twitter at Viticci, Viticci, and he's the editor-in-chief of MacStories.net. You can follow Michael on Twitter, IMYKE. Mike hosts a bunch of other shows here on Relay FM. Y'all will be doing the draft results on, I guess, on Tuesday for Upgrade.
Yeah, we're going to be doing Upgrade as soon as we can after the event ends.
Yep. So that should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow me on Twitter as ISMH and my writing at 512pixels.net. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Electric, Capital One, and Memberful. Until next time, guys, say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Cheerio.
Bye, y'all.